Carrie's asking, how do I avoid trademark violation when I'm doing retail arbitrage? So a good question, Carrie. A lot of people on that's selling retail arbitrage or replan have this issue where they might run into a listing that have IP, which stands for intellectual property type of infringement. So what we do is we use a Chrome extension called IP Alert, and we actually have a discount for you all, $30 off the annual fee. So when you get this Chrome extension, it's going to alert you. It's when you open up any listing on Amazon, if there has been a history that was reported for an IP claim, it's going to pop up and say IP claim alert. And for those listings, we avoid. So I use I use the Chrome extension for when we're finding products for the product find pods to make sure we don't violate any type of IP complaint. That being said, sometimes it does slip through the cracks, and a few things that we have kind of tips and tricks of the trade to avoid these IP claims. You want to tell about?
Yeah, so before I do that, I just posted the link to online tools that we love, including IP Alert in both the Zoom and the Facebook chat. So definitely click on the link. You scroll down to the almost the very bottom, you'll see intellectual property alert. The discount code that Amy was referring to gets you 30% off. So definitely a great discount right there. And yeah, so even if you're not using IP Alert, one of the biggest tip-offs is look at the brand. And if it's like a small brand, you know, like ABC Limited or something like that, and if you look at the person who has the buy box and it's also ABC Limited, that likely means that it's a private label listing, and you're going to want to avoid that because they're going to be very protective of it. So what private labeling involves is basically taking an item that's already being manufactured and then just slapping your brand on it and then putting it on Amazon. So a lot of smaller brands will do this, and they'll create the listing, and they'll put up the pictures, they'll put the copyright on there, and they might trademark their brand, for example. So we've done private label, and we were very protective of our listing as well. So we completely understand why they would do so. So that's why you really want to avoid those. We've also run into very kind of shady techniques where they'll take a major brand like Method, right? Method's like a big brand. They got sprays, they got cleaning solutions. We actually ran into a listing where it was a company that also had Method in its name, but it was a lighting company, like light bulbs and like fixtures, nothing to do with Method products, which is cleaning supplies. Anyway, they leveraged that Method Lights brand name to basically create the listing, and they started sending all sorts of threatening messages to any sellers that would jump on that listing. So that's something that it's really easy to miss because you see the word Method, or you're just running through, you're just adding listings, and before you know it, you're on some other person's listing that they're not too happy with you being on there. And if they send you a message, consider that a nice warning because they haven't filed anything with Amazon yet. So definitely apologize and then delete the listing. If they go so far as to file a complaint against you through Amazon, same thing, apologize, delete the listing. However, Amazon's likely going to keep that violation on your record for 180 days, 6 months or so. So listen, it happens to everybody, happens to us. It's kind of something you run into in the course of doing business on Amazon. It's not a big deal. Just make sure you do address any type of violations with Amazon right away. And you can do so by going to your health dashboard and just looking at all the different different dings that Amazon's kind of notifying you of, and definitely make sure to take care of it ASAP.
Okay. So the next question we have is from Carrie. I hope that answered your question. It was like a long-winded answer, but there's a lot of things that go in with IP claim. And if you have more questions about it, just send me a message.